All right, so congratulations now officially that you won your second match. Well done, well done, well done.
Yes,
And
well,
let's
thank you.
go over it. Let's go over it and let's go over the key mistakes. From what I could view the match, it was mostly well played. The biggest thing was in the cube. I can tell you that what I'm talking about with the cube now, so we can understand how important it is, what happened in this match, even though it was not too bad because it was mostly one or two decisions. If you didn't make any cube error, you would have played like 5 or 6. So
Really?
yes,
Yeah,
but
but
there
cubes
was
are all wrong.
two cube mistakes which I really want to put pressure on because we don't want to make them again. But of course, well, as usual, other stuff as well.
Wait, but before we get started, I think we should say that before we started, Mary and I had a little chat, and we decided that we were not going to base decisions on the cube or turning the cube on a fear of losing. Like, okay, well, if we take it and we lose, they would have 7. You know, in other words, we didn't want to make any cube decision based on fear, that we wanted to be aggressive and in front of it. Now that I just want you to have that in your head when you're going through it.
Okay, it's very interesting that you say that because my observation is totally the opposite, actually. So that's okay. That's gonna be fun then.
Okay. Well, we just thought, yeah, we just thought we'd lay that out there, and we hadn't talked about it in our other round, so you know that's where we were.
By the way, do we want to analyze opponents' mistakes as well?
Yeah, well, we'll do whatever you
Right.
can in the hour. Yeah.
All right. So, well, let's.
Wait, what color? Where are we?
All right, you're normal. You're black. You're green.
Okay.
Whatever that is. So I want you to criticize. I want you to criticize. What do you think about these double sixes? What are the options here? What are the options? What's the most powerful? Again, like we discussed last time in the lesson when we reviewed the match, we want to focus on the biggest upgrade.
We both said on this one that we would have taken the 7 and the 18.
Great, yeah. 7 and the 18, definitely right. Basically, what this extremely powerful, no way to jump out. Super easy to win from here.
Yeah, but why did you know they're very good players? Why did they do that?
I guess, well, so I think why they did that, I mean, of course, I can't read their mind, but generally speaking, people are taught to make inside points as the sign of the power. Because most of the time, again, as we talked last time, right, about our concept, most of the time, that's right. But in this case, if we think about it, what does really bring us, right? I mean, they make a 4-point. Well, we can do anything. We have no it's no difficulty for us to come out, right? If we make a nice board, we hit them, we have no problem at all coming out. We have no problem splitting checkers. They are not putting us in any danger, right? In the future. If they do this, oh damn, like they are controlling everything. They've got everything. There is no way for us except like getting super lucky and rolling double 3s. Even if we roll double 3s, double 4s. So what? Nothing happened, nothing changed. They're gonna win anyway. This is kind of a disconnected thing.
Wait, if we roll double 4s, it would have been
stuck on it.
Yeah, well, kind of in both cases, right? You roll double 4s here, well, they're gonna win somehow. If you roll it here, it's a disaster. They have so kind of difficult time to also bring checkers home. But double 4s is just one roll, so it's not the crucial thing here. It's more about, again, all the other rolls, right? How does it feel when we look at that and how it works? So yeah, but you would have made the right decision. This is going to be a concept I'd like to focus on because, again, it's a concept. It's not just a play. Let's not take it as a play. We want to understand this from the bigger picture. What is going on here? What's happening? What do you want? I want you to hear both of you, your view.
It was Mary's fault. I don't know what we did. What did we do, Mary? I think we went 10 into 4, right? I think we were trying to be
That's what we
conservative.
did.
What?
We could slaughter the 5, couldn't we?
Oh, I don't know. Wait, Steve's here. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve. I think you're muted.
Yeah, you're muted, Steve.
Oh, us. Oh, we're black. Yeah, it is us.
All right, so yeah.
We slaughtered the 5s, what we're probably supposed to.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. I don't know if you've ever met Zizi before. Zizi, this was our opponent, Steve.
Nice meeting you.
Zizi, pleasure.
Pleasure.
Wait, Zizi, can you go back to the question that you had on the opening move they made to see what his answer is?
The double 6 here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Steve, we've been discussing this play, and we were just wondering, what were your thoughts here about this play?
All right, let's see. Where are we here? Up 8. Yeah, I guess just we were thinking. Let's see, we're black, right? Or no, we're.
Oh, you're white. Oh yeah, you're white.
We're okay, all right. So yeah, I can't change that around. Okay, so I'm ahead. We're ahead 8 pips.
Before the roll, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, I was thinking 24-18 too. And then beyond that, it was between 10-4-2 and 13-7-2. And what did we do?
What would you do now then?
What would I do now? Now I would do. So I would do 13-7-2.
All right. So now you made the right play. Okay. Yeah. That's the right thing. That's the right thing. That's the right thing. We've just been discussing the power basically behind this play, how you've got everything under control, everything's working out, no bad numbers. While when you make it 4 point, you may get into some difficult situations with clearing points and also losing the power. So clearing the 13 point is also kind of a big key how to get a checker zone. But yeah, all right, you made the right play now. So
okay,
good choice.
Excellent, thanks.
So the 3-2. Well, tell me just what is happening in this move. You, of course, there are just 2 options: either 10-5 or making the 10 point. So let's focus on what it really means. What it really means, slotting the 5 in this situation. What would really mean making the 10 point? What is helping us and how? What's the liability? What's the asset? Let's continue what we do with our thinking.
Well, I think what we said to ourselves is, what do we want to happen next? Because, that was the question that came up in our last session. But I think that you're right. You're right. The 10 is not really a game changer for us. So I don't know.
They're 3s. They're 3s. That's it.
Yeah.
I think what we were doing is just trying to make another blot to slow them down or stop them.
And to have a place to come home.
Yeah.
Basically, most of it, again, we are seeing that most of the time it's good to make the 10 point, right? But now we need to understand why and when it's good, right? Because in this situation, what will really happen? Well, next turn, you want to make the board somehow, right? And next time or over the next time, you really have to break the 10 point. So it's not really an asset, right? It's not blocking anything at all. Double 3s a little bit, but if opponent rolls double 3s, you're kind of in trouble anyway. So no asset at all. It's just a liability because you are able to use it as something you really want. You want to do what you want to do with it, points, right? So you don't want to be bringing checkers home. You don't want to block him. That's your least problem. Your biggest problem is getting out, which means you need to hit him. The way how to win this game is to catch the guy on the 18, right? That's probably clear. That's how you will win most of the games like this. So just slotting the 5, you got flexible position. You know exactly what to do next time. You've got a bunch of rolls to play. You don't need to break any points. Just perfect. And then the cube happened. So cube is good.
Wait, you missed this part, Steve. he said that we would have had a much better PR, like 3 or something, if, but we
Our
messed
cue
up.
back, no, it's like 5 or 6.
Christine, I
Five,
said
okay.
6. I said 6, but okay.
Well, I'm thinking of Karen, who had a 3 on her last match. But here's the thing: we were so bad with the cube. He didn't say it that way, but we know that's the truth.
That's
that
the truth.
that's took our PR. Now, what about their PR and what about their use of the cube? What do you think of that?
It was actually the same. There was one big take or pass error. Otherwise, so
probably
checkers
our
were
fourth.
played basically all right. So I was very happy with that when I saw it, because checkers is something what we talked a lot about last time, right? There were so many checker things, and you really improved that since the last match. So very good job on that. The cube, there were conceptual things which I thought were connected to fear, but let's see, because I'm interested in your thinking in this one, because what's going on? How do you think about this? Because we could figure this out based on what we already learned. So white's cubing. What do? You take, you pass, why?
Wait, I'm sorry. Whose role is it, and what's the question?
They doubled us and we dropped, and that was wrong. And that was one of our errors.
So how did you think about it over the game?
I think we thought it was 1 point. It was early in the match. First game, just lose it. Who cares? We didn't know.
Right.
We did not have a clear. I know what it was, because do you remember we talked about this, Mary? And Mary's a little more advanced than me on this. And it was like we weren't sure. So why take the risk when we didn't need to?
So then we come back to the fear, right? I'm gonna be a little strict here, because when you use the argument that it's early in the game or it's just 1 point, it's basically always the same thing. The cube action works the same. It doesn't matter whether it's 0-0 to 7 or whether it's 5-4 to 11 or whatever. The cube is the same. We don't want to be dropping the cube based on that it doesn't matter. We want to be having our thinking, which is what's going to happen? How many times, who needs to get lucky? This is kind of a holding game. So what are your chances? How are you going to win the game? What can happen? Try to tell me as many options, what can happen from you getting crushed until you getting somehow lucky and win the game. What are the options here? We want to see the possibilities. So what can happen? How will the game go if you take?
Well, the way it goes with me, they roll double 3s or something, or double 6s, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh, it's nice."
Okay, so first of all, double 6s.
Well, and I would add to that, because my concern was, I don't like that we, any major role we get, we're going to be vulnerable somewhere. Like, I didn't like that we don't have stepping stones that I was comfortable with, and so I didn't see how we were going to get home. I didn't see it. Okay. So for me, it was like, and we could get in big trouble because his home board's starting to look better. And I felt like there was too much risk and we didn't have a lot of assets to address it. That's what I thought.
I see. Okay, I understand.
And we are down in the pip count. That was probably another thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so first, about the pip count, let's forget it. Because in these types of games, in a holding game, you will always be down. Okay, it's like 100% of the time when opponent cubes, you will be down. So we don't want to get confused or get scared because of the pip count. Okay, what we want to see is, you mentioned worst case scenario, opponent rolls double 5s, double 4s, which is, first of all, not too likely. But even if he does that, he still got problems. Right? It's still kind of a holding game, even though we are not in good shape anymore. But what will most likely happen, he will get problems, right? And that's important. He will have problems clearing this point. And that's when we will attack, or with clearing the 13. So we've got so many chances. It's a holding game. It's not dangerous at all. We are not losing gammon here, hopefully. So these types of positions, we just want to be taking when we see the potential. When we hit, it's going to be good. So we don't even need to get lucky twice. That's the thing. Once we hit, we just need to get lucky once, which means a take. Good?
So wait, I have to ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Between their position and our position, if you had to pick one you would want to be in, would you say ours?
No.
Of course not. Of course not. But that doesn't mean that it's well, because
It is.
you just don't want to drop for 1 point, right? I mean, of course, you will always pick the side what is doubling if you could choose. But I wouldn't. So what is really the question behind the cue is, would you rather give up 1 point, or so losing 0-1, or would you play this position from an underdog, right, from us, but for 2 points? So this position is really playable. So I really want to play it for 2 points instead of just giving up 1.
Okay.
This is basically right if we translate the cue.
The main problem with their position in that spot is their communication, between 24 and 13.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, there's just so much contact, if we say so, that we can just attack either 18 or 13. We can just do so much stuff here. Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying their communication between their starting point. But I guess I'm looking at it opposite. But between their 24.
Yeah.
24 and 13. Yeah. So communication is not critical because you got the 20 and the 18 open.
Mm-hmm. So the communication is not important because it's not what's happening at all, right? Our priority is not to get these checkers to here. Mm-hmm. There will be a development in the game where we will be building the board always. There will be nothing else happening, right? We as green, we will be building a board. White will be trying to get rid of the 13 point and 18 point. That will be our chance. Our goal is to hit and make a prime. Mm-hmm. Then that communication will be easily solved once we hit and make a prime. Mm-hmm. So that's why we don't care about it. That's why we basically don't have to describe the position right now like we are disconnected or something like that, or the pip count that we are down so much in the race, because that doesn't matter at all. That's why we are not describing the current position, but we want to understand the future of things, of possibilities, what will be happening. Is it good?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Perfect. Then we've got 6-2, which is actually a tough one, because I will actually mention this as a topic. I will not ask because I don't want to confuse. This is typically a very good move. Generally speaking, once you roll 6-1 at the beginning, you make the 7 point. This is the great spot for a builder. So this move, generally speaking, is very powerful. Although now there are 2 things what are happening, what are in contrast against it. One, opponents got already some kind of anchor, right? So it's kind of difficult for us to build 5 point and 4 point because we want to use the 8 point as well to make 5 point and 4 point, right? So let's just say in simple way, he's got the anchor. Our points will be more tough to make and they will lose the value. Is this point understandable and clear?
Yes.
Good. Now I will ask all of you, what do you think will happen? What is in green's next roll power? What is he gonna do? What are we gonna do as black?
We're gonna make a point in our home board if we can.
Exactly.
We're gonna try.
Yeah, exactly. This is the perfect sign of the attacking structure, right? The attacking structure, you're just gonna make a point. You're just gonna make a point. What that calls about? That calls about the irritation move. Irritation move where somehow we put the checker on the 18. So our opponent either has to focus on our 18 if he wants to hit it, which means that he can make an inside point. If he makes an inside point, then we can make the 18. So it's a win-win situation. So these are 2 big concepts which are here together, and that's why this is the best play. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes. Good. So always, when you notice the attacking structure, you can come out with a 6, extremely powerful.
Well, especially because it doesn't matter if one of the things that I would have said in that moment, I saw that roll actually, is it doesn't matter if I get hit. but
Exactly.
he won't be able to hit and cover, and that's what I want.
He will not be able to hit and make an inside point, because inside point, it's super powerful, right? So you want to have like a defense, like counter attack or something. This is all right. This is something I really want to talk about. What's happening here in this game, in this position? What's your goal? What's your goal? What would you like here?
Not get hit and come home and win the game.
Okay. So this is the general goal, right? Come home.
Again, this is the same conversation, Zizi, that we talked about earlier and that we approached the match with, which was we're not going to be reckless. So we had the conversation on this roll of we don't want to be reckless. We want to be safe because we're so far ahead.
That's okay. So you were safe, but now how do you want to be safe? What you have one goal: come home, come safe. What's the best structure, what you can do with this roll, or what comes to your mind here? What options would you consider? What moves would you consider?
I think we didn't want to slot behind him. We wanted to.
Why? Why?
Just because we, in case we got a hit or something. No, we don't care.
Tell me one case, where will you hit? There will be no block at all.
We just dream.
Exactly. That's the thing. This is what we want to focus on.
I was going to say, we didn't do 8-2. We didn't take the
No, we did. We put him on the 4.
No, you made you made the 2 point. Which
we made the 2. Okay, I thought we put him on the 4.
This only thing you care about is the distribution outside, or potential to make the 5 point. Making the 2 point, no value at all, no gain at all. We want to play flexible, which means we don't care that there is a block. We can cover it anytime. There's no shot. There's nothing like that happening.
Well, what's the other option?
This 10-6, 8-2. Not making the 2. Basically clearing the points in a way.
Builder outside.
I got you.
We got builders. We can be clearing. We can do a bunch of stuff. We want to be having checkers on the 6. We don't want to be stripped there. It's like super powerful to make the 5 as well.
Okay.
This is just the conception that I really want to put pressure that making a point here on the 2 point, no value at all. You just want to be flexible, and that's the power there. This is all right, even though it was the same case. This cube is okay, definitely. This is where it starts. So this is, by the way, the thing which for both of you kind of messed up the PR. So green is on the roll. You are winning 4-1 to 7. First, I will ask about the cube action, whether you would cube or not. And then the second part I will ask in a moment, how would you think about the
Wait, is it our roll or their roll?
This is our 4 cube we redoubled on, I think, or just a double. It's not
just a double from
just a double.
I'm sorry, what's the cube sitting at now?
0. We're going to double.
We felt like we had him trapped back there and we had ways out. So we wanted that. I think that's where we were, right?
We had a shot.
How do we think? How do we think about the cube? What's the general question I'm asking always?
Well, can we annihilate him on the next roll is the most important question.
So what's the answer to that?
Yes.
How?
We can hit on the 18 and get away while he has to come back in, and then we can set up the board.
Yeah, but
is that annihilating him in the next roll? Whether you hit him?
Well, it certainly maims him.
So let's say you roll 6.
What are you looking for? I mean, you just total death? Is that what you want from us?
Well, the thing is, let's say you roll 6-2. You roll 6-2, right? So
yes.
Is that a pass? Did you annihilate him? Is that a pass next roll? At the score.
Yeah, we'd sort of do, because he's got to use the 4 to come in.
Can you say that it's a clear pass?
Too. He rolls a 5-4 there, or 4-3. He's got an advanced anchor and
bunch of things, right? Even if he doesn't make the anchor at the score. So you roll 6-2, you just got pretty lucky, right? Well, it's still
we were lucky.
it's still gonna be a take, maybe even a no double. So
did they take our double?
No.
Well, so now the second question, Steve.
Mhm.
How did you think about the take situation, pass situation? I guess the position looks powerful, but what was your thinking process here?
Gosh, I'm trying to remember.
Well, what would it be now?
All right, so we're green. No, we're white.
Mhm.
Or white, okay. Well, they have one back, we have two back. Huh. They're in good position, certainly, to make more inner board points, and their board is already better developed than ours.
Mhm.
You have a better board. We have an outside prime.
Oh, yeah, okay. I see, I'm still looking at the backwards. Okay. Yeah,
Or
we have
what do you expect to happen? What do you expect to happen? There, what's the crucial part in your opponent's role here?
we didn't take that, huh?
You didn't, yeah, you didn't already. That's the because if you hit, well, so you are white. So if you get lucky and your opponent misses, you've got huge power, especially because of the score. You're just turning the game around. You've got huge potential. You just got lucky and you've got awesome game. If opponent hits you, you still have a game, which at the score is even more and more powerful. So at 0-0, I would say that's where we should start. At 0-0, I agree with you, Christine, that it can be okay cube, basically. I wouldn't mind the cube at all at 0-0, where basically you annihilate your opponent if you roll 6, or if you roll 4-1, double 4, whatever. I agree with that 100%. But the score, you are 4-1-2-7, which means now you have to be careful. You are close to the win. You've got a big lead. You have to be careful, so you have to adjust to that a little bit. So far, I would say we want to do it by feeling before learning any difficult thing.
Wait, you know what? I remember now this conversation because I remember saying, hey, if we give them the cube, they hold the cube and then they come to 4 and then we have no advantage in the score. But I think what we said was, oh, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to play based on the score. And so that's why we turned it.
But yeah,
You're trying.
the score is a huge deal. Once you get to closer to the end of the match, especially when you're winning, you have to adjust to that. You have to adjust to that.
So more conservative.
Especially in volatile positions. In volatile positions, when anything can happen, this is the important point. Okay, so is this good, or any question to this position?
Well, yeah, because at the beginning of your explanation, when we started this, you said it doesn't matter what the score is. You remember saying, didn't he say that, Mary? He said, like, it doesn't matter what the score is.
It's a take. It's a take. Yeah.
Now, which one is it?
So, well, take, it's always a take. I mean, it's gonna be always a take.
I see.
The take, it doesn't matter because it's just a huge take anyways at all costs, because
That
there's
makes
always
sense.
so much
Okay.
game.
Yeah. Now thanks for the clarification, because you're right. So it matters when you're giving the cube because you've lost control of it, is what you're saying. But then it's not but you take it, or but taking it is not based on the score. I hear you. Okay.
Well, it is that it's even a bigger take at this position, basically. But I mean, the bigger question here was whether it was a cube or not, right?
Okay.
And what I always do is, if we forget everything and we make it simple, okay? First, in everything, start, what do you think it's right at 0-0 at normal circumstances, okay? That's what we always want to know. Normal circumstances, 0-0. What would you do with the thinking? Can you annihilate the opponent? Yes, but it's not really killing him, right? So what it means? It means implication from this. All right, at 0-0, It probably can be a cube. It doesn't have to be, because we can annihilate him, but we don't really have to. So let's say it would be close. Yeah, I can later on check what would it be, but not important. Big picture, right? It would be close. This is what we can all agree on right now from this basically implication, right? That we can annihilate, but we don't have to. So let's say a borderline no double-double. But now, adjustment. What's different? The score. The score is 4-1. Huge lead for us. That means it's definitely, we definitely don't want to cube this.
You're more conservative.
Yeah, yeah. Because
I don't remember.
Will take even more.
I don't remember our exact thinking on this, but my impression, I tend to be, Phyllis tends to be much more conservative, risk averse, and I tend to be a little more taking risks. So so if it was just me playing, I probably would have taken it, and I don't know if she talked me out of it, but
You talked about it for a long time, because we're like, where's the question?
yeah. Yeah.
Got a real good double.
Yeah. So yeah, I would recommend a tip that if it's a volatile position, which means a lot of swings on one roll, right? I mean, you can definitely define a good roll and a bad roll here.
Sure.
When you can do that, and there's a big difference in what you roll, volatility is in favor of the trailer.
Okay.
Okay. Volatility plays always for the guy who is losing. So this is the main point from how to achieve this position.
So basically, Mary,
1-1, would it be a double? Or with 0-0, would it be a double?
I will check at the end of the match. I will check it. I saved the position. So I will give you a result and the answer to that.
so Mary, note to self: we're not allowed to wound. We have to kill.
Is actually all right. This is actually also okay. Again, as mentioned, the biggest problem was the cube.
Everywhere.
So in this position, this is why I was so confused with when you said you played with no fear. White is on the roll. White is cubing, which is correct because of the score. White wants to be aggressive. White wants to enjoy every moment. White can annihilate the opponent. Always cube, always cube, always cube. So good decision there. Now, what do you do as black?
What was the score is what, 5-1 now, right?
5-1. But again, we can start at 0-0.
We saw the finish line. For sure, the fact that it brings us to the finish line was in our thinking. It had to be, right? Was it, Mary? I think it was.
Well, yeah, because the gammon and losing 4 on a game when we were ahead 5-1, 5-2, 5-1 that time.
So hang on, I'll stop you now, because what I think and what I feel is the big thing and big help, big tip to everyone basically, is that I believe that at this score, whatever the score is, especially when there is a big difference, like here 5-1, right? You keep that score in mind more than the position itself. So what I would like to is first look at the position and then adjust to the score, not the other way. So let's first forget the score and tell me something about the position. What do you think I would say?
It's their role. They may make a point on us.
Okay, tell me. Tell me. That's a valid point. So that can happen.
They roll a 5-3 or a 4-2. And
if they don't care if they make them. How do they actually play 5-3?
I don't agree with that. I feel like the only worry I have is if they get out, if it's a 2-6.
And we don't get out.
A 2-6 is the only thing I'm worried about. And I think the odds of that are what, 1 in 36? Is that right?
2 in 36, because
6-3 would be a good number. We would, we're kind of limited in our out numbers.
That's kind of the only thing.
Yeah, right? So I wasn't really worried about that. I don't know.
We didn't want to give them 2 extra points when we didn't think we could win.
Okay. And basically, again, we are getting to the
Thinking,
score.
we're
We want
thinking
to give them what
You're
we
right,
don't want
Mary.
to
That
give
was
them,
it.
right?
Yep.
But that's
I was thinking,
we also want to win 2 points, right? So it's
yeah, the win match.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
I saw the
basically-
finish line. I definitely saw the finish line. Thought we can close this out. That would be amazing, you know. But I don't. So we didn't take it.
We didn't
You
take it.
didn't, yeah. And as you just mentioned, like there is no real fear, right? I mean, opponents can't really make points. Like if they roll 4-2, all right, but you will have so much of a chance to hit back. If they roll 5-3, they are not even hitting, I think. So yeah, if they roll 2-6, you get unlucky, okay, you will probably lose, but that's okay.
We
Wait,
probably
most of the
won't get
rolls,
gammon.
You're okay.
Should they not have doubled?
Oh, they should, because of the score, they can roll some,
Early.
they can annihilate, right? And because they are trailing a lot, when they have even the smallest chance to put you in danger somehow, which is now 2-6, 4-4, 2-2, these kind of things, they want to do it because of the score. Yeah, they have to catch up somehow. This
So is that
volatile
what you were
position.
thinking? Steve? Is that what you were thinking?
So you do it now before you lose equity.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before you, yes.
Yeah, certainly that's I mean at that score, you know, we want to get on the board and you know, we have a 4-point prime, although you guys had a 5-point prime and we had to jump past it, but we got time to do that.
Yeah. So can we agree on the fact, and for the next match as well, which we'll play, let's first focus on the position. Tell yourself what would you do. It's a really good tip. And then look at the score and adjust. Because then you will look at the score with clear mind. Sure, it would make sense to adjust a lot to the score, yeah? Especially in this case, if it was too dangerous, sure, you look at the score, you say it's too dangerous. Okay, you pass, it's okay. But first, look at the position and analyze the position as it itself.
I got to remember that position and then the score. I got you.
Yes. All right. It's like when you go on a date, you always, I mean, okay, food is okay, right? I mean, but it's more important how you connect to a person, right? And I mean, food and everything else is just the sideline, yeah? You don't go to a date for food, right?
Wait, a date? I can't even remember. What are you talking about?
This is okay. But I will mention it anyway, it can be helpful. So now, exact opposite is happening. White is trailing still, right? But there are no gammons. White cannot really annihilate the opponent and will not be able to annihilate, right? So when there is non-volatile position, no gammons, suddenly, well, we've got not too many reasons to double, even though we are losing. So we just want to double normal. No gammons, we double normally like we would at any other score. Okay?
Wait,
Even
why
though-
is there no gammon?
Well, you
We
get
got
the
the
anchor,
5
right?
point.
I mean, there are, of course, there are some gammons, of course, but
Okay.
with the anchor, I would consider this as more likely you're not, it's not like something bad's gonna
You
happen.
would be unlucky.
Yeah, this was all right.
You
And
would be there.
yeah, this is something I don't want to. For example, this would be a move where you would make the right play if the score was normal, but because of the score, it's not good. But I don't really want to get into this because this is such basically just from all the other things. I don't want to give too many information and confuse you. So not gonna mention this just yet. There will be more important things, and that's this. Look for an upgrade. What's going on here?
Look for an upgrade. What? I don't know what that means.
We should have made the 5 point.
You know
Did we
what
not
that
make the 5 point?
You didn't make it. You should have made it. Yeah.
Yeah, we should have made. I see that now. It's
Yeah.
easy.
Wait, well, I don't know why we should have made that.
Well, he's not
just-
on the bar then.
Oh,
Just
wait, I
out of-
got it.
out
I
of-
got it.
Yeah, 8 points got nothing, right? 5 point. Once you make the 5 point, that's a huge upgrade, right? There is nothing you can do better with this throw.
Also,
than
it has to make him more cautious about what he does.
Exactly, yeah. Then
They don't have free reign.
especially when you know you're gonna get hit, right? I mean, you know you'll be on the bar 90% of the time. That's where the board matters. That's why it's such an important thing to make the 5 point.
I'm sure I wanted to, and Mary said absolutely not.
I think I heard that. Okay.
Mary, did you see that and reject it? I don't even
No,
think
I didn't even see it. I see it now. It's easy to see now, but no, I don't think I saw it.
Yeah.
We were just rolling the log. We were.
So now I have a question for Steve. So you had 4-3 here to play. I want to hear your thoughts on what's happening after your move. What will happen, or what would you do now?
All right, so we're up 32. Got the 5 anchor. 4-3. All right, so 4-3. I this position I do remember, because I was interested. I proposed at least the possibility of 15-8, which would duplicate 3s. Because we're in a tough situation here. I mean, unless you just fold in, 6-6-3, or 6-2-4-1, or 6. Yeah. If you don't move any of your outside pieces. But with their board, they've only got a 3-point board and a blot. And we've got to get off. We got to get off the 15. So I was looking at that, but that was way too risky.
Yes.
For Phillips's blood.
I can't talk right now. Could you just email me back, please?
Okay. Way too risky.
Thank you.
What do you mean way too risky? Because again, what we compare it to, if you play 6-2-4-1, does it mean that it will not get risky?
No, right. Yeah, you got to, at some point you got to make the jump.
Exactly.
Unless,
So,
yeah, I mean,
so
I
even
think,
it doesn't seem
we got
like,
double 5s the next roll, but yeah, you're not going to get that.
Still didn't help too much here, but yeah, exactly. So basically, this position is risky already. You didn't even leave a shot, but it's risky in general because it will always become risky at some point, unless you get extremely lucky. That's important to say out loud and realize, because now we can work with it.
Sure.
Now we can analyze the position that if we don't leave a shot now, we are making our position way worse than it was. And Christine and Mary's position will get for sure way better. So there are like 2 things and 2 huge reasons for us to move something now. So not to do this, because then it will just become bad, but just clear some of the point. This would be
Zizi, I have a question on that. So one of the places where I know I'm a weak player is I'm not sure when to take that risk. Now, but when I look at this board and I see that on our next roll, we might have been able to take that 20 point, or we would have probably closed up our board substantially. So one of the things I would have considered is it's good to take the risk now, because they're gonna have to hit me rather than close their board up. So my chances of coming in are much better. But that you're not mentioning that. Is that another reason they should have moved out now?
You mean that you're gonna make the board?
Well, because our board, maybe we're gonna
for sure. That's the important improvement, which is a big part. So that's your potential to get better in one roll. On the other hand, what's White's potential to get it home? Almost none, right? Unless you roll like 6-6, 4-4. So these 2 potentials are the things you talk about.
So it's better to clear from a 10 because you can safety one of them.
Yes.
Okay, I see 15-8 is an error, but
So this is kind of a so now you don't have to understand this too much. Just what I will try to say. This is kind of a weird thing here as well, because believe it or not, this is kind of based on a score as well. This is a very normal move, which would be normal, and it's correct. So everything I mentioned is right at any score. We want to understand the potential, upgrades, and everything. So this is the normal move to play.
But the other
Because-
problem is, you know how you were saying it would be just threes, so you're protecting it because we had a roll of 3. But let's say we roll a 3 and we hit you on 1, then and you don't come in, then we're going to hit the other one too, and then you're really in doo-doo.
Something
They
for
don't
something.
care if they get gammon. They just have to
something
win.
for something. Something for something. It gets more risky, but you also have a big reward. Like if you get missed, you just clear the worst point which you had problems with. It's always something for something. But the main thing here, why there can be differences, is the score. You don't care about gammons at all. On the other hand, if opponent will be forced to leave the anchor, you will have some potential side for the gammons, and that's just basically the explanation for anyone who would be interested in this in the future, who would view it and saw, oh, hang on, this is normal move at 0-0, and this is actually a big mistake at 0-0. Yeah. Well, not big, but this is just in a short way. It's all right. This was, let's say, this as the last move, which I want to discuss because these were not interesting anymore too much. What's happening? What do you want? How do you want to win the game the most effectively here? I want to hear everyone's reason here. With 6-4, what would you do? Oops.
We just want to win the game.
How? But how? Everybody, I want to win the game. I want to win the game.
I want to close out the board, so you have to come in on 6 when I'm rolling off.
Right. So you want to create as many builders as possible.
Where? Builders where? What's the
Builders
most effective way?
To make
the
the
board,
1 or the
yes.
2.
Why the 2 point? How difficult it is to make the 2 point? How many rolls will it take? Is it difficult? Can it get dangerous?
Not
Well, it
dangerous.
could be, I mean, it could be an next roll if you go 12, it would be 12-6. No, I'm sorry, 13. What is it? Yeah, 13-7, 12-8 gives you 2 more builders.
Okay. So you do that and open rolls a 2. It kind of feels awkward now, right? Like we will have to hit. He may jump out soon. I mean, it's already a very good position, but that's not the fastest way. That's not the easiest way. What's the best thing? Well, how about instead of a 2 point, focus on the 8? How about we do this? We don't care whatever opponent rolls, unless it's 2-6, which we care about anytime. He can roll anything. We are just making the 8 point next turn, and we win. That's what we accomplished. The easiest way in 1 step.
I see it.
Yeah. This
So
is
focus on the
something.
back end.
This is, yeah, because if we do this, opponent rolls 2-6, he's out anyway. If he rolls a 2, well, now we have to do something uncomfortable. Now we have to take some risks. We still got problem, but we can have it solved. We can just make the 8 and we're done. We won. So any questions or any topics? I guess, again, we covered so many topics. So again, each play, what we talked about was a concept, was a topic. It's all about one thinking, what we are connecting all together. So any questions?
So funny. I mean, I see that now. It makes total sense. No, I mean, I do. But then my concern, I'll tell you why I wouldn't have done it. Because if you make the move the way you said, right? Okay, then he comes in on a 2-6 and hits us. Okay, I now have, all he has to do then is roll a 5 or a 6, and then I'm 2 down if I don't come in on my roll. And to me, that was too dangerous.
So what you just mentioned is less than 1% of chance happening.
Well,
By
I'm
the
a
way,
very cautious person, Zizi.
but if you do this, if you make your move, opponent rolls 2-6, he's out anyway. 2-6 is just bad always. We cannot do anything about it. We wish we could. We wish it would be a simple, safe game, right? But it's not. There's always some chance that you will lose any game. So the 2-6 is there anyway. We just want to maximize the reward on everything else. And honestly, we don't even care if opponent rolls 2-6. We can hit him back with so many rolls. We can just enter.
Mary, you see that now too, right? We didn't even talk about it. Yeah.
It's all about relative risk.
Yeah.
So any questions to anything, or is this all good?
I don't have, do you have anybody else? No, I'm
No,
good.
I think that's great.
Good. Well, good match, especially with the. I mean, I really like the mistakes we talked about with checkers. They were helpful. They were informative. It was good amount of mistakes, not repetitive, not something what we talked last time. So I was pretty happy with your performance. The cube. Now, I will be strict about this. I don't want to hear basically the comments that we will give them 1 point. It doesn't matter. Okay, this is like, because if we translate it basically, let's say each point is worth $100, right? You don't want to give somebody 100. I mean, why? Let's fight for it, right? So it's not like it works the same in the match basically. We don't want to just
Mary,
give
the pressure he's putting on us for the next, like we're not already under pressure? Come on. Wait, you're on, Mary, you're muted. You're muted.
Still. Oh, it doesn't matter. Huh? I will just translate what Mary is saying.
Muted.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
Wait,
I'm
what,
unmuted.
wait, what did you say, Mary?
We tried to do better and we did worse.
I don't know if we did worse. Did we do worse?
Yeah, our PR was worse.
Well, okay. One thing, I don't care about the PR. I care about the concepts and the improvement. And I can see something good happen and something else, what we can fix happen. So PR is just a number. We don't.
Okay, but wait, we're going into the finals. If we win this match, we've won the tournament. If we don't, we have to play. We have to play again.
Okay.
Okay,
that's enough pressure.
So here's so strategically, I know it's going to make me more cautious, but what I'm hearing you say and the voice I want in my head of your voice will be, look at the score is not, how did you say it? He said it so well.
Score is secondary. First, look at the position. And you don't care about the
score.
Of course, you enjoy more the finals, but it's like any other round. You just want to focus on the game. I mean, this
what
is
we want is to swiftly win is what we want.
I know.
Yeah.
Believe me, you will maximize your chance to win if you forget everything. That's how you maximize the chance. If you just focus on the match, on how to play the game the best.
Zizi,
but
thank
enjoy
you.
for sure.
Thank you so much. Yeah, really appreciate it. Thanks,
This
you
is
guys.
great. Yes.
Steve, great playing with you.
Nice meeting you, Z.
Mary, see you
Nice meeting you,
soon.
Steve.
Okay, thank you.
Enjoy.
Bye.
See you. Good luck in the finals.